Hi, friends and fellow intuitive academics. My name is Shelley, and I am an educator healer, and I draw from my intuitive abilities and my lived experience as a PhD to offer you guidance on your academic journey. I also do general reading, so I'm kind of balancing between doing general and more student specific. And I would say if you're early career or an academic at any stage of their career, I also have messages that come in for you. So I'm still kind of navigating how to organize all of that. But generally, my messages come in terms of like life path journeys as it dovetails with your educational journey. So you'll see that my readings are kind of crafted in that way, and maybe that resonates with you. But today I did want to experiment and try something a little bit different than before. I am going to do like a more generalized reading first, and then for each pile, and then within each pile, I'm going to do like a student message directly after that, along with the reading. So you will, if you're looking for that more general non-student reading, that will happen. If you're looking for the more student-oriented reading or interpretation, that will happen as well. Yeah, and so today I felt that I wanted to, it's the Pisces new moon right now. And I was writing in my journal things I want to manifest. And suddenly I just felt like, what am I going to do my next reading on? And I suddenly just felt this burst of love and joy. And it was this message that your guides love you. They do. And we don't really like frame it that way all the time. We're like, oh, they're our guides and they're guiding us through our path. But like, they're guiding you with great love. Your guides love you. So let's focus on the love that they have for you and what messages come through along with that. So, oh, watch out for the candle, baby. So I don't know if Mocha's interacting with one of my guides right now. She just jumped up on the table. But welcome, Mocha. I want to help us pick our cards. Yeah, so your guides love you and they want to tell you this, dot, dot, dot. And so that's going to be the theme of our reading today. Again, it'll be general first and then focus a little bit more on the student message there. So let's get our cards out, see how if Mocha will move of her own free will or if she wants to stay with us for this. So let's see, what are our three cards? Okay, we got two, and then I think this one as well. So the first card is the Hanged One, number 12. There goes Mocha. So that will be paired with this black stone. Bye, baby. And then we have the Knight of Swords in reverse with this green stone, green speckled stone. Ooh, and the Star card, number 17, with this white circular stone. So I'll let you take a moment and meditate on which one or more of the cards is drawing you to them. And I will see you in those readings next. Feel free to pause the video if you need to take your time and really meditate on this. Hi, Hanged One group. So we are going to get some message now on your guides love you and they want to tell you this. So let's just shuffle the deck and see what comes through right now. Ooh. Okay, so we're starting with the Ten of Wands reverse, the Page of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Knight of Wands in reverse. What's interesting me first is that you have the Page of Wands in upright, and I'm really centering in on this energy and the High Priestess energy, while you have the Knight of Wands in reverse. So that to me is saying that you're getting an idea, you're getting guidance, an idea like dropped into your head from your guides, meant for you to kind of mull over and simmer on first and not yet take direct action. It's still simmering. As I say that, I see the bowl of water in the High Priestess, and it makes me think of a soup, like still simmering, getting all the flavors melded together. Not yet meant to take the first active steps on it. Coming to the Hanged One and the High Priestess are two major arcana here. Wow, again, that's that message of just hang out with this idea and just let it transform you. So it's like in this card, it's like you're in the soup. You're the one that's kind of like melding ideas, and it's going to turn your whole perspective around. You're going to see something in a new way that will help you unlock the next step to get to this point where you take action on something. It's also going to be it's going to transform your vision so that you can find the key to unlock the secret behind this idea that you've been given. There is still something to be unlocked there that you haven't accessed yet, but you are on your way to. And with the Ten of Wands in reverse, it's like a work smarter, not harder kind of vibe. It's like, I don't know, I feel like for some cases, this idea that you're simmering on, that will be a key to unlocking some kind of epiphany or key moment, key insight. That's the word that's coming through. Your insight is locked away for now, but you're getting there. It's going to be an insight to help you work smarter, not harder, because you're kind of I feel this energy that like you've been gifted with this incredible idea, and you're kind of like trying to like throw everything at it at once. You may be a fire sign because there's so much fire in here. And so your guidance coming in is to embrace more of this water and to let things flow first before taking action to grow something. It's like there's something that needs to progress organically without you putting the push in. There'll be a time for you to put the push in, but it's not yet. Right now, things need to flow, and then they'll get to a point where you can push it to flow further. And following with that analogy, that's your guidance for how to work smarter, not harder. It's like going with the flow and just kind of guiding the flow when needed to get wherever you're going with this idea. So I'm keeping this as general as possible right now, just reading the energies of the situation so that you can adapt that to your specific experience and what you're doing in your life. But I do want to give an example. So this might pertain to like a few watchers out there of to help you understand what I'm really talking about. Okay, The example that's coming in is territory I'm really not familiar with, but it's something to do with like computer programming or app development, something like that. And you suddenly got this idea and you're just like, wow, what if this could happen? Wait, what if I could be the one to do this? And so it's like you have the vision clear of like, oh, this app can do this and that, and like I could code it this way, and it would be so unique because it will like it'll be pretty much the same as this other app, but it has this one unique feature that like that changes the whole experience of the app. You're being called to keep in that vision state, keep developing that those ideas, keep spinning this web of ideas and like suspend yourself in it because you're doing a lot of important work with that to you. It's almost like you're working out the potential successes and pitfalls ahead of time with the visioning that you're doing now. And with the Ten of Wands, I feel like you're getting to this point of like the fire is growing within you, and you just are excited to start this. You want to start reaching out to people to assemble a team of who's going to do what kind of work to launch this app. But you're being called to hold off on that because there's going to be a key moment, a key insight that will really help you shape the direction of how you take that first step of assembling that team, who's going to be a part of it. It might change your mind about who you have envisioned at this moment. You might have had your heart set already on like specific team members. And in my mind, I'm seeing like a team of 3 or 4, including you. And once you marinate on this idea, you keep visioning, working out the potentials, the potential pitfalls and whatnot, then it might change your mind on that key person that you wanted to reach out to. Also, something might develop over time related to that key team member, potential team member, that makes you reconsider having them on board. Or you find that someone else is suddenly catches your attention and they're an even better match than that key person you had in mind. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's the example I tapped into, and yeah, again, so that will pertain to maybe a few people, but hopefully there's enough in there for you to adapt it to your situation of what you're working on. So your guides love you and they want you to know this. They don't want you to feel frenzied. They don't want you to feel pressured by this idea. This idea is a gift to you from them. And you're kind of accepting the gift with a sense of urgency that this needs to be manifested now. And it's going to burn your energy quickly. Your guides love you. They want you to take this idea and do what you need to do with it, but they want you to do it carefully. They want you to walk instead of skateboard. They want you to suspend yourself entirely sometimes and not do anything. To take care of yourself, and it's in the best interest of the project as well, so that it can develop organically in the way it needs to. Again, that analogy I brought in the beginning about you like being on a boat and going with the flow of the river, letting the river carry you. Your guides want to carry you, and they just want you to like work with them with the flow, you know, putting in your oar to kind of navigate, but alongside with them, so that it's not so hard on you. Um, yeah, as I keep looking into this card, um, a bit this one too, there's a sense of like feeling unwell, feeling overwhelmed by the ideas, the urgency, the passion. It's almost like the passion is consuming you, and you feel like you might miss out. I think it's like a fear of missing out thing. Like you want to like realize this idea, or you feel like someone else will get to it first before you. I really feel like that's not a danger. It's because you have the unique key, the unique insight to make this happen in the unique way that you've been gifted to. And that's not true for other people. And this will wait for you when you're ready. So your guides want you to take care of yourself as you're working on this. And go with the flow with them because they want to carry you. This is very sweet. Yeah, so that's that is the completion of this message, the general message. I'm going to now pull some cards for the student interpretation or extension of this message right here. So you're welcome to stay on and see if there's still some message for you, because we're all students of life, in my opinion. We're all here in this earth school. So you might have a message there, but if you feel pretty complete with this message, I am sending you on with love, hoping you continue to work with love as well, and hope to see you back here again. So let's now ask for our students, current, future, or students of life as well, how we can add on a second layer of meaning to this message. Your guides love you and they want you to know this in your studies. So we got the Emperor in reverse. The Five of Swords in reverse. The Eight of Swords in reverse. And the Six of Swords. Wow. I just laughed at the end because it's like everything was in reverse. It's like everything kind of annoying got reversed. And then you're like, bye. With the Six of Swords is like a goodbye card, like moving on to better things. So I think you're in this situation with particular personalities, and it's probably more than one, but there is one person in authority that has just been like making life kind of hard for you in some way. They are misusing their power in some way, and it can be as simple as like, oh, they don't have time for you. That's a misuse of power, in my opinion, because like anyone who works at a university is in service of students, and if they don't have time for you, they're not taking their role in the right way. So it could be something like that. And then with the Five of Swords reverse, the reverse is meaning something different in this case. It's that there has been existing conflict related to this person of authority and people around them. So it could be one particular personality that's kind of spoiling the whole department, something like that, spoiling the whole team, and everyone's kind of like turning on each other. They've got their swords pointed to each other. You've been caught up in this, but you're turning that around now. The Eight of Swords reversed, kind of think of it this way, like say this is your sword in the mix, and then this is you, the Eight of Swords, holding the swords there. It's like you're holding your ground, but you were you were feeling insecure, you were feeling unstable, you were doubting yourself, and maybe you were feeling voiceless in a lot of ways too, even though you were still holding your ground in other ways. It's like you're in a sword fight with one hand tied behind your back, something like that. You're at some kind of disadvantage. Um, and that's going away also. Something happened to make you realize your power. This is lining up with the high priestess, that you do have some kind of power of insight into the situation that gives you an advantage. For example, you could see behind people's words. You could read between the lines and see that they were all bark and no bite, something like that. Suddenly you got this power of insight. But instead of like putting with this power of insight, you realize what you need to do is leave the situation on high ground and not continue to keep putting in the effort of holding your sword in this fight. Yeah, okay, let me tap in and see if there's an example for the scenario as a student. Okay, I'm getting my image that represents like some professor who's like stuck in the past, which is like a this like tweed jacket with elbow patches, like very 1950s. Um, so there's a conflict of ideologies here. People who refuse to change and they're stuck in like older ways, and you realize they're just not going to see eye to eye with you on this. It could be something like, say that you want to work with an idea or ideology that that is really calling to you now at this moment in time. This is very kind of like important topic that people are talking about. The for example, what's coming to mind is like decolonization, right? But you entered school with this program that has no idea how to talk about decolonization. They were just never part of this conversation before. They were never trained in it. And they're not willing to learn. They're stuck in their old ways. So it's like you're in your program, you're calling for like say you're in like I don't know, like architecture, and you're calling for someone to teach a class on decolonizing architecture, and the faculty there are just like, what are you talking about? No one knows, no one has a ground in this. And you feel like it's important to talk about this issue, and I agree with you, it is. And and to provide the students the tools to think through decolonizing architecture in this way. But the dean is holding their ground, the head of department is holding their ground, and they're saying like, this is just not what we do, this is not what architecture does, and you disagree, you think architecture should. And so this is a defining moment for you, actually. This is defining your identity because you realize you want to pursue decolonization and architecture further. And so that's an aha moment. That's a key insight again, but for you, that you need to leave and find your like-minded people. Yeah, so that's again, that's one example, and like and adapt it to your own situation how you see fit. But yeah, because there's so many swords, it is, I do feel like it's a ideology that the conflict is over. I would love to hear how you've adapted this to your situation. I'm so curious to hear other examples, or if that was exactly your experience that I just said, would love to hear it as well. So as you're continuing on this journey with your guide's love, going with the flow, tapping into a key insight by hanging out in the flow, letting things simmer, reaching this point where you see things differently, you realize you want to pursue things differently, and then you do. All of this takes time to unfold organically, and it's like trust the process kind of thing. So let's get one more message of like love and encouragement from your guides as we send you off. I already saw this one come through. So it says, life will always bend you, but trust me, you are too strong to break. Interesting. I really got the sense of going with the flow with this one again. Going with the flow doesn't have to be scary. You can trust it because you can bend with the flow and it won't change the core of you. It won't break you. It's just another skill to have to make life easier, or to work together in partnership with your guides and life and the universe on this journey that you're on. And I will leave that there, and I'm wishing you so much love on this journey, hoping you continue to work with love. Thank you in advance for any likes, shares, subscribes, comments, questions even. And if you were drawn to another card, you're always encouraged to follow your intuition, and I would see you there. Otherwise, I hope to see you in the next reading. Hi, Knight of Swords reverse pile. So we're asking the universe first, more generally, or your guides, I'm sorry, your guides, because your guides love you and they want you to know this. So we're going to get some ideas on what specifically is coming through their love for you in this reading. So we're getting the Two of Pentacles reversed. Just a totally random fact, this, when I was shuffling this deck before I even started the introduction, this card kind of exposed itself to me, and for a minute I thought it was a turtle. So turtle might be a significant sign for you. I just wanted to mention that for anyone who needed to hear it. The Magician, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Cups reversed. The first obvious thing to me is that with the two aces, you are being called to follow an idea that you have without reservation. Follow an inspiration, and with the white feathers, it's a guided inspiration from your guides. Your guides, and you might have like 3 guides, key strong guides in this deck, this pile specifically, that are coming through and saying like, we've got you. This moment of inspiration has come from us, and whatever self-doubts you have, or insecurities that are coming through with starting this, first, you can acknowledge them, and then second, heal them, because you don't need the self-doubt. Like, this is something that you asked for. You wanted this inspiration, and they handed it to you very gently, very softly. Even though like this is like a blade, it's like very softly on the feathers landing in your hand. Ace of Cups in reverse, I also take this as like an encouragement to focus on self-love. So building your self-love is going to strengthen you to take this idea forward as well. Okay, so much coming in. First, but as I was talking about the Ace of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, the spade here suddenly looked similar to that Ace of Swords. So there's something here with balancing that inspiration that has come in on you, to you. It's a very delicate balance. So I'm just going to leave it there and then see if that phrase delicate balance become significant in a moment. The Magician is our only major arcana, and it's kind of a core part of your message here. Maybe you're in medicine, pharmacology, chemistry, something like that, because the Magician is like the alchemist taking from different elements or resources to create something new. That can work on a material as much as in like an idea level as well. Since we have multiple swords, this could be alchemy of ideas or theories that you're combining in a unique way to create something new. And it's like you're very educated, you're very inspired, and you're very passionate about this. You're so, it's like you don't really have the clear vision of what will happen, but you do have the clear sense that there's a reason you want to experiment with combining these things in a unique way, because you have a hunch based on like previous research that you've read that this will produce something interesting. As I said that, I kept looking at this label on the jar which says rose, and so that might be a significant symbol to you, a rose, but it also makes me think of fragrance. Yeah, fragrance, something to do with scent and like healing powers of scent, possibly. Some people are working on that's a very specific detail for someone, but you can also adapt this more generally. The general idea being that see, you're kind of framed by this Ace of Swords energy of being gifted an inspired idea and taking it forward in a material way with great balance. I feel like the balance you're being encouraged to deal with here. I just want to mention the infinity symbol comes up in both of these cards, emphasizing balance, but also emphasizing like alignment, like this being part of your path, your soul's path. The balance is important here because if you are in chemistry, you're working with like maybe possibly some dangerous substances. That's part of the careful balance here. The other part of the careful balance is to resist feeling failure if something spills, if something goes wrong. Things are gonna go not as planned along the way, and you'll be tempted to feel that it's doomed to failure, and what were you even thinking in the first place? These little lines that are like shaky, that's actually your confidence in yourself is a bit shaky, and everything hinges on your confidence and your dedication to moving this forward. So that's why you have been guided to build your confidence, build your self-trust and your self-love, because this is a key thing that you're embarking on that is meant to be seen through to fruition, to the end. It will take a while. I can see that this is something long-term and big, and it will take years. And so it is pretty important to balance out your faith and your trust in that process following through. And with the Knight of Swords in reverse, I see that this, what we've been talking about, this is you kind of hesitant to go forward with that sword because of the reasons we've already stated. So your guides love you, and they want you to know this, that they have gifted you this inspiration for a reason, and they will be holding your hand through it the whole way. So if you ever feel alone and like you don't know what you're doing, just like reach out to your guides and ask them to like send you some comfort, some kind of symbol, some kind of presence to be there with you, because I do feel that you are working on something alone and not in a team, and you might get into your head and be like, what am I doing? Am I totally off track here? Your guides are going to be your teammates in this process. It's really sweet. They're going to be around that like that workbench with you. And so find a way to feel their presence and to connect with them, because your guides love you and they're here with you through this whole journey that you're on. So that's the end of the general reading. I'm going to adapt it now to the student journey. Whether you're enrolled in a school or you're planning, you're applying, thinking about it, or you're just like a student of life in general, then you can hang on for this message as well, I think. Or if you're just curious, you know, who knows. But I'm going to adapt this to the student situation next and see if there's something additional that comes through. Okay. 10 of Wands in reverse. Interesting. This came up in pile 1. If you were drawn to pile 1, which was the Hanged One pile, you might have a message there. Then the Princess of Wands, the 7 of Wands reversed, all wands now. And the Wheel of Fortune, oh lovely. Luck is on your side, let me just tell you that right now. Luck is like steering in your favor through this whole thing. So the Princess of Wands, as you're the Magician, you're also being encouraged to take up this energy of the Princess of Wands. I don't know if you need to write like a research proposal or something, but this is like passionate communication. So you're being encouraged to like charismatically explain your idea so that you can attract support and funding. I really get the sense that this is calling on you to work on your elevator pitch, the way you communicate your project or your idea to others to attract support. So that the energy here is that you don't really need to defend it to anyone. I think maybe you're coming from this at an angle where you have to defend this idea to people. They'll like cut it down. It's the other, your guys are saying it's the other way. What you need to do is build up your support, because what you're doing is compelling. You just need to communicate it in the right words, and you can definitely get like hire external help or ask your advisors and your peers to help like look over your communication materials. But this is the way you need to be going, is announcing your idea to people in the right way, framing it in the right way that's compelling, and getting people on board, and getting them also to give you feedback. Once they understand what you're doing, they're going to be inspired. You're going to spread inspiration to people, and they're going to come at this from their own expertise, and they'll be like, I love what you're doing. Have you thought of this from my fields of experience? And you'll be like, oh my gosh, that helps me think through this one issue in a new way. This is going to be very like fun for you and very generative. So focus on doing that rather than approaching your idea from this sense of like you have to like prepare for any critiques, because that you're limiting yourself when you do that. There are important things that you're editing out when you think of it this way. So as much as you can, try to embrace this idea of you, like going out and, like going on stage and inspiring people by saying your project just the way you want to say it from your heart. That's going to attract so much good fortune to you. The fortune's always there, but it's like you'll be able to work with the Wheel of Fortune energy and a lot more fluidly when you do that. The Ten of Wands in reverse, don't overwork yourself. I get the sense that you feel like you need to do more to put yourself on equal ground. And your guides are assuring you've already proven yourself. You can let this go now. You don't need to overwork yourself. You don't need to prove anything anymore. You've made it. You're there. Just step into this role with confidence. Embrace who you are now, because you've already passed this milestone. You can let this go already. Yeah. So your guides love you, and they want you to know this, that they want to see you blossom into this figure that you're meant to be, to take up this wand, communicate it to the world, this idea that you have, gain support, and just take this as far as you want to take this, because they also want you to know that, as came up here as well, they're going to be with you the whole time. They're going to be steering the Wheel of Fortune as you're doing the work in the physical world. And so I want to end off with one more message of encouragement from the Therapist deck. Okay, guess that's it. From your guides. And this is, you are going to get through this just fine. Like I said, this is for you particularly. I feel like this is like a years-long process where there's like multiple iterations to your growth and getting to this point where you're just this like very successful figure in the end with this idea you have. You're going to get through it just fine, because your guides are here, and feel their presence whenever you need to along the way, because it is a long journey, but you have, like I said, multiple, 3 strong guides with you always at all times for whatever you need. And I'm wishing you so much love on that journey, hoping you continue to work with love as well. Thank you in advance for any likes, shares, subscribes, comments, and questions. And if you're drawn to another pile, I'll see you in that one as well. Otherwise, I'll hope to see you in the next reading. Hi, Star Group. So we're going to get your message now, more generally on from your spirit guides who love you, and they want you to know this. And so, as I mentioned in the introduction, I'm going to do a more general reading first, and then I'm going to do another layer that helps interpret the message to the student situation. So this will be the general reading right now. So let's see, we got 6 of Wands. I can already say that something that you are wishing for, and actually in communication with your guides, have been developing this wish to materialize, is going to be greatly successful already. Oh, we got the Page of Wands. This came up in the first reading, the Hanged One. So if you're drawn to that, you might want to go ahead and check it out. The 3 of Swords and the Chariot. Cool. Interesting energies here. You're just being guided and given a lot of reassurance and confidence on what it is that you're doing right now with this thing that's a dream. That how do I say this? It's like a dream or a wish that you're having, but it's not coming from nowhere. It's really being created with love and in partnership with your guides. So the star figure always has like one foot in on the ground and one foot in the water. And so you are like very in communication with your the like other the spirit kind of realm, the metaphysical dimensions. You're very fluidly in contact with the information coming in there divinely, and you're also able to bring that information into the physical world on here on earth. I just noticed for the first time this bird. I never paid attention to it in this card before. I don't know what that is, like a crane. So I actually want to bring out the book and see what the authors intended with that bird, because it's being highlighted for me in your reading. So the star is the calm after the tower's storm. When we begin the process of healing, the pool is filled with the waters of life, and we are in direct contact with it, a conduit for it. Have you ever noticed that after great struggle often comes great inspiration? That's the star. It's the rejuvenation of hope, the restoration of the spirit, the transmutation of pain into life-affirming art. In readings, the star reminds you to look for your North Star and let it guide you. Maybe your star is your authentic truth, your ideals, or your loves and passions. Maybe it's a book that reminds you of your aliveness, or a song your grandma used to sing. This is a time for hope and inspiration. Signs and messages will appear to help you on your way. Make space for healing and seek out things that soothe your soul. Lastly, when you're ready, the star welcomes you into radical acceptance and forgiveness of others and of yourself, because that's part of healing too. Wonderful. So we didn't get an explanation on the bird, but I did get the sense through that message, that beautiful, hopeful message, that it's like with the bird, you're becoming free. Your soul is becoming free in some way and able to to fly, to soar, and enjoy the world in a way that you couldn't before when you were more grounded or caged in, which is associated with the past tower moment that you are moving on from at this point, healing from. So that's very much central to, oh, sorry, I just got some information, but that's very much central to your reading here. That past pain and the wisdom that comes from it is informing the inspiration and the hope, the light that you have now to share with the world. I was suddenly drawn to the stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stars. And then with the Six of Wands, the sparklers kind of remind me of stars too. It's like the card said, look to your North Star. It's kind of like you have multiple North Stars guiding you. I would say you have a whole team of light, guiding you. A whole spirit team that works together. And there's some parts of you that are really already in communication with this, and you know this deeply, even if you don't admit it to friends or family or anyone. So just to confirm that, and to say that you can take this further if you want to. So for example, say you are very fluid about getting messages in your dreams, and you you have a question, you ask for guidance, and then maybe after a week you get the answer in your dreams, and you're very kind of adept at that, and that's your go-to connection. For example, it could be something else. It's like these two cards are saying that actually you can expand that. You can find other techniques out there and open up your vocabulary to communicate with your intuition and your guides in so many different ways, to get so many different types of angles and information, insights onto what you're doing. Yeah, so just wanted to say that if you're already kind of thinking about experimenting with different ways of tapping into communication with your guides, you are like being encouraged to do that because you have a lot of ability and possibilities for that, helping you along the way. Right. So the Three of Swords is definitely related to that tower interpretation about some past pain informing how you go ahead with what you're doing in life. And like I said before, with the Page of Wands, oh my goodness, the Page of Wands came up in all three piles actually. I have to think about that for a second. Yeah, I think this is saying that you are a light in the world. Like you are a light worker. The work you're doing shines a bright light that only you can produce in this unique way to resonate with other souls in a unique way. It's kind of like this, like you are shining your light bright here, and it's lighting up the other souls that need to like resonate at that same frequency that you're producing. um yeah, you're going to like travel in some way with this communication. Do you see the wreath? The laurel wreath is here too. What is that from? Is that like Athena? Makes me think of the Olympics. Yeah, there's some kind of international connections, community that you're weaving. You're traveling places and sharing this light across cultures, across countries. You're weaving the pain together to produce hope and inspiration. Yeah. Let me see if I can tap into one example. Oh, okay. So the example I tapped into was actually a teacher example. And so you're traveling to different community, different countries and talking to people and sharing your light and inspiring others. But it's in very small settings, like classroom settings. You go classroom to classroom, and it creates this intimacy of inspiration and hope what you're doing. So it's not necessarily like you're going on big stages and you're like this world speaker at this point in time. If it's something you want later on, then that's totally available to you. But what the vision I saw was, this was a very intimate, interpersonal, like, yeah, like I said, small classroom setting that you're sharing your light and inspiring the people that really need to hear it. And that's how it works for you. And in this context, you're going around lighting up people's lights so that they can go on and do the same thing. So I hope you like traveling in this pile. Let me know if you do or if you're afraid of that. I'm so curious. Um, yeah, the wings come up here as well. Uh, with the bird earlier, it also makes me think of Hermes wings. I don't know why like Greek mythology is coming up a lot in this. So maybe there's something there for you if you're really interested in those stories. You might kind of identify at some point in your life with one of the like gods, demigods, forgot what they're called. Um, the mythology there. Right, okay, so your guides love you and they want you to know this. You are an inspiration and you are a great hope in the world. You are a light worker. You know this in your soul. You know this already. I think you don't yet claim it out loud to yourself or to others, but you can. You can look in the mirror and say you're a light worker. Like, you can totally embrace this as much as you want to because you're very much like leading with your heart and with with the light that love brings. It's very beautiful. You do know how to do this in a very wonderful, magical, gentle way, I would say. You probably have like empathic kind of communication style, so maybe that's why you're doing this in small settings. But yeah, your guides love you and they want you to know that they've given you these wings so that you can fly and do the work that you need to. So nice. Okay, so I'm going to transfer over to the student interpretation of this message, and you're welcome to stay if you're a student of life, if you're like not yet a student, considering applying, all of the above, and see if there's more guidance in here for you. So let's get for the students. Your guides love you and they want you to know this. This one fell out. I'm just going to keep it. Okay. So you got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. The Three of Pentacles in reverse. The Ace of Cups in reverse. And Strength card with the Chariot, and there's a number 7 and 8. They come in sequence with each other. These things in reverse are things that haven't been working for you in the past. 3 separate things. Luck has not been on your side. This is all related to the Tower moment that's in the past, and this is related specifically to your educational journey. Luck has not been on your side. People have not been on your side. Even within your team, something failed you. And I'm sorry to say that you even were not on your side at some points. This together kind of created your experience of this Tower moment, which is like a life-altering kind of time period or event that kind of shifts your course, often in the direction that you need to be. But yeah, it's directly associated with this past pain. So of course I think these are coming up because the message is these are the areas that you can be healed in now. Your guides love you and they want you to know that your luck is turning around in your education, that your partnerships, your teamwork is turning around. You're going to connect with the right like-minded people. Your sense of love for yourself is turning around. You're going to regain trust in yourself, love for what you do, what you represent in the world. And you're pulling all of this together because you have incredible strength that you've developed through your trials in life. Let me tap in if there's an example I can share specific to this in the student context. So there's a couple different things. So the example I saw was a scholarship fell through. You were kind of unlucky. You deserved this scholarship, but luck was not on your side. You didn't get it. It's for a reason. It's because better things are coming your way. But this is the example I'm seeing. And then separately, there was some kind of failure in like a group project. Specifically, like one person was kind of problematic and it ruined the whole dynamic. And you were really struggling towards the end to really pull the project together. And a lot of it fell on you. And you did this. You got it together, but it left a sour note on you, like about working in a team. Like you just prefer to work alone because of that experience. And you are meant to work in a team again in the right setting. So don't let these past disappointments sour your outlook on the future, because it doesn't apply to your future. These things that you had great hope for and that disappointed you will not repeat in the future. In the immediate future, I see you're going to be offered opportunities for another scholarship, for another team to work with, and you're being encouraged to say yes to those. Of course, with your own discernment, following your own intuition and signs, which is the right team, which is the right scholarship for you, but there is that waiting for you ahead. And of course, for the Ace of Cups reverse, it's really about trusting yourself in this group. Something about you blaming yourself for these failures, these disappointments. It's not like that. There's just a lot of things at play, and it also wasn't the right timing for this to happen. So whatever you can do to help develop trust in yourself is going to help you along this journey as well in your education. And like I said, we're ending with the Strength card. There's a lot of power and intention here. I'll just let you take that in for a minute. That's you walking forward with confidence, one step at a time, across mountains, across the desert, across the different landscapes, with great intention and purpose and stamina to do what you need to do. And 2024 is guided by the Strength card, the number 8. So particularly powerful to start off with in this year, in this direction. All of this is turning around for you in this year for sure. Yeah. So yeah, your guides love you and they want you to know that things are looking up, and walk tall, because you have earned your right as this tiger, as this powerful being. Flex your muscles because you developed them for this purpose. I'm going to end with one more encouraging message from you guys, from the therapists. And it looks like this one. It says, here's a friendly reminder that the negative voice in your head is not you, and you are actually completely delightful. So that's exactly what we were talking about with the Ace of Cups energy here, that there's some kind of negative self-talk, some kind of self-blaming over past disappointments. That negative voice is not you. It was developed from your experiences, from your fear, and it was developed to protect you and to help you survive a situation. But it is something that you can put off to the side if you want to, and also importantly not identify with it too much, because it's not you. You are all these other things that we were talking about, and you are your guides as well. You're all intimately connected. So I hope you can simmer on that, digest it a bit, remember this encouraging message, and I'm wishing you so much love on your journey, hoping you continue to work with love as well. And thank you in advance for any likes, shares, subscribes, comments, and questions. And if you're drawn to any of the other cards, and it sounds like possibly you might have other connections in the other cards, I'll see you there. If not, I'll see you in the next reading.